I don't know. I haven't got a 3D printer. I don't know what I want to print. If I get a 3D printer, then I'll be like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna print something.
Aren't they like really expensive though? It's got a big investment. I don't understand how 3D printers work. You know, like a printer, you know, it's got like a normal cartridge, like an ink cartridge.
Yeah.
What do you put in? I am assuming
It has a
it's not an ink
spool of
cartridge.
no, it has a spool of plastic filament, and then like it heats it up and then it molds it.
If anything, I've got more questions. You
Depends
don't
what
need
quality
one
one
though,
you
do
get.
you?
That might be fun, mightn't it?
Anyway, welcome to the
What do
E3
I have to do
show.
in my life?
We basically want to do a rundown of all things E3 before we get there, and not 3D printer talk. So, Jack, I've got a few talking points that we're going to run through. I don't know if this is going to be one long video or multiple videos, but I guess that's what I'm here to edit for. Are you hyped
I
for
just,
E3? Let me start with there.
I,
Are you
I just want to say,
overall? What?
I was going to say before we start, I've just found a picture of a 3D printer on Amazon, and the thing that it printed is the Hulk with like a Chinese assault rifle. Right, so E3 talk.
E3. Right, Jack. Overall, E3 2018. Just let me know where you're overall excited. Are you looking forward to it? Are you like, meh, don't give a shit, or oh, I guess it will be fine, or yeah, I'm fucking 100% flame emojis everywhere. Where you at?
I'd say moderately hyped. Now that we've moved on to the PC, and we've sort of basically established ourselves as PC gamers,
Yeah,
I think we've got more interesting stuff to look at now. Whereas Xbox, it's like, oh god, are we getting games this year, or are we getting some kind of gimmick thing?
that is
Whereas with the
interesting.
PC,
I don't know
it's
if that's a
like,
good place to start. Actually, should we start with Microsoft?
if you want, I mean, because it's like, well, now we could just think about games. We don't have to think about being like, oh look, they're trying to fucking give us Kinect again. Oh great,
Yeah,
can't wait to see what they're gonna do with
I
that.
think. Yeah, I
Oh look,
think.
they're trying to attach an Oculus Rift to an Xbox. Oh god, hooray!
I think
Can't
Microsoft
wait
is
for
a
that
really
one.
good place to start actually, because even on the list, like I've done, all right, granted, audience, I've done absolute the bare minimum amount of research into this, but the only titles that Microsoft are likely to tease or have officially said that they're going to announce, which I'm interested. There's fucking three. And one of them is only on this list because I'm talking to you, otherwise I wouldn't give a shit anyway. But they've got Crackdown 3, which, as of the other day, is rumored to have been cancelled entirely. So we don't even know if we're going to fucking see that. Halo 6, which I guess you've got some thoughts on. Are you excited for that?
Well, here's the thing about Halo 6. So, Halo 4, fucking tragic. Halo 5, even, I'm talking more in story terms here. I mean, the multiplayer is a different, separate conversation that I will
I think
have
it's
at a
worth
later
just
date.
know that just putting into context that you're a massive Halo net. Like you're not just a fan of Halo. Like you're a fucking loser with it. Like you've got the books and everything. So you
Thanks.
talk with quite a bit of weight with
Yes, I like to read.
yeah. No, but I think that helps sort of because I think when you talk about a franchise, because I know that is like your franchise, I associate Halo with you because how
Yeah.
much you're into it. So I feel that holds more context in your opinion. But yeah, so
Yeah,
the story carry on.
the 343 ones, they've had a massive sort of like tonal shift compared to the original trilogy. Like, it's a lot more sort of, I'd say, militarized more, whereas before the militarization of Halo was just sort of an extra thing added onto this big science fiction world where you're the hero, you'll play as Master Chief. Now it's more like, oh, it's weird, it's a bit more like spy and military kind of thing, if you know what I mean. I've just said military quite a few times, it doesn't really make sense.
It
Which is interesting,
seems
which I like that sort of theme. I'm into that stuff. I like it in the books, but in the games, for Halo 5, for me, it didn't come across very well. Because the whole problem with Halo 5 everyone had was it was, arguing it was going to be this big, Chief versus, what was his name, Locke. And it was going to be, it's a fight, it's finally his match, no one, he's going to match Chief, he's going to try and take him down, Chief's gone rogue. And then it turns out you played as Chief for like 2 missions and that was it. But the interesting thing about Halo 5 is that they brought in some of the characters from the first like 3 novels. So the Fall of Reach, First Strike, no, the Flood, and then the First Strike, which they're kind of referencing the books a bit more than the first 3 games did. Now that the book world has been built up more, and they've released like a shit ton of novels. I haven't even read them all because there's so many now. But the reason I'm not that a bit worried about Halo 6 is that I do feel like 343 aren't they're not completely sure what they want to do with it anymore. It's like Halo 5 feels very different to Halo 4, and both of them feel very different to the original trilogy, and none of them really like feel like they know what they're doing or where they're going. They're just sort of aimlessly making up this story that's not very good. Yeah, and Halo 6 is just going to be a continuation of that, I feel like. Because I know a while ago Microsoft trademarked the websites for 7, 8, and 9. So obviously they're going to keep going further.
Really?
I mean, my whole idea would be, I think the chief story should have ended with Halo 3, and then if they wanted to continue it, just make a new character. Just leave it at that. Make a new character, do new adventures. Just stop trying to milk this dead horse, as it were. Because I want more Halo games. I love Halo, but I want different sort of, like games set in the same world, but different characters I'm following. Like we've had Chief for quite a while now, but now his story's getting dragged out, and he doesn't feel like the same person anymore, or the same character. And neither does the universe. Like it's completely changed. He's a different character for a different time period, and it's not correct, I think, to put him into this new sort of world that they've done compared to the old ones, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, there's not really much I can add because I'm really like Halo for me is just the most average game. Like, I've only really played 3 Reach, and I think that's it. Like, it's such an average franchise to me that I don't really follow the story at all. But from the outside looking in, it just feels like a placeholder franchise now. Like you just expect. Yeah. I see it in the same vein as like I know EA is going to release another FIFA game every year. I know there's going to be another WWE like 2K, etc. I know there will be a new Halo every 2 to 3 years, but it holds no weight. I'm not excited. I'm not even vaguely interested, and that's interesting as that's Microsoft's biggest IP. But I do completely agree with you. I just think it's entirely wasted. I really thought after 3, because I played 3 and I thought it was all right. Nothing amazing, but I didn't really follow the previous ones. I really enjoyed Reach, and so from my point of view, I was like, oh, okay, they've done 1, 2, and 3, which was the story of Master Chief, and then they've done this spin-off of Reach, which I really enjoyed, and it's because I didn't play as Master Chief. I wasn't following that story. So that said to me, there are other stories and other characters that you can really explore and get a good game out of. You don't just have to carry on basing it around this one guy. But that's, from my point of view, that's all they've done. Like I said, I've not played 4 or 5, but it does just seem, like the Far Cry effect, where they're pretty good games, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about Halo, which is really, I think if I was a game dev at 343, or even if I was somebody like pretty high up at Microsoft, I would fucking hate that because it's the biggest IP they have. And for people to see it as just a box standard, like, oh, here's another one, and to not really care. Like, I don't even know if the community around Halo is bothered at all. Like, is there buzz for Halo 6?
I mean, I've not, like I said, since Halo 5 has just really sort of killed it for me. So I've not really been looking. I've not really gone to any sort of the Halo subreddits or anything that often, like I used to. I haven't bothered looking because it's just, I'm like, well, I don't really care anymore. Like, it's clear that the writers don't really care anymore. So does it fucking matter?
And again, for me, I think that speaks volumes. I think because I know you and I associate the game with you, I know how much of a massive fan you are. The fact that you can say that you don't care anymore, would just scream how poorly this franchise has done, or how off the rails, or whatever's happened to it, that it's just not interesting anymore. The only other game from Microsoft which I've got written down, which slightly caught my attention, was Blue Dragon, which you've not played, but that was an RPG.
I remember seeing it.
Yeah,
a lot in game stores when the Xbox 360 first came out.
Yeah, right. I'm going to talk a little bit about it because.
Right, I'm just going to move my headphone wires when you do that.
All right, it's so Blue Dragon. If you didn't play it, it came out. I'm pretty sure it was definitely in like the heat of the 360 era when they were peaking. It's sort of a JRPG, I guess. Sort of in a Final Fantasy vein, but it was really fucking good. It was really long. It was 3 discs, but it was super good. I really enjoyed it, and that I've only brought it up because that's a franchise which I would never have expected to come back. I didn't think it did overall that well when the first one came out. Only, not many people have played it. Everybody knows what the box art looks like because it was one of those games that was always dirt cheap, pre-owned in game stores, but no one had really played it. But it was one of those games where when somebody did, and you found somebody else, you could talk for hours about it because it was a really good game. But I'm only bringing that up just because that's a franchise which I've not seen or even thought of for years. So it's a real surprise that we might be getting another one of those. And to me, that just says that Microsoft are really, really stretched thin here. Like they are really trying to claim back the lost ground of this generation, which they're not going to make up. And it's like we said at the beginning of this, where we've now moved to PC and we can just focus on games. We don't have to worry about Microsoft selling us fucking every other piece of shit that they want, and we can just focus on the games. It seems Microsoft has finally cottoned on to that and are just scrambling for whatever IPs and whatever material they have to produce a game out of. And that's why we've got this really obscure title. I think Microsoft, out of anybody, has to really pull a magic hat like this year. I think their reputation overall has been completely trashed this entire generation. The fact that we've got rumors of the PS5 being only like a few years away, it's sort of rumored for sort of 2020, 2021. And if you look back at the Xbox One as a whole, there is not a single title that stands out to me. Whereas the 360, you had Gears, the Halo series was at its peak. There was
Mass Effect 1. That was originally that was Xbox only, wasn't it? Or no, it was Xbox and PC only.
Oh, was it? I did. Wow. But I can just. I remember there being
the first one. It was published by it, and then EA bought it out.
Oh.
The first Mass Effect was a Microsoft title, I believe.
Oh. Well, I did not know that. You learn something new every day. But it fucking baffles me that it's now that they're really trying to like they've just released just earlier this year we've had Sea of Thieves, absolute flop. I've never seen a game bomb so fucking hard. And State of Decay 2, apparently it's out, and no one cares.
Can you say that Sea of Thieves didn't make a very big splash?
I'm leaving that silence.
It didn't make a very big splash.
I'm going to put a slow clap animation in there. Well done, Jack. Well done.
But that's a good point, because those two games are the biggest Microsoft games, arguably, the last few months, and no one cares.
It's the two biggest games they've released this year. We're 6 months in. They've had two big, in quotation mark, big releases. No one cares. Literally, no one gives a shit. I've seen nothing on State of Decay apart from how buggy it is and that it's a letdown. I've not seen any mass praise for it, and I keep on seeing their marketing just been like, and this is what annoys me most about Microsoft's marketing this year of Sea of Thieves and State of Decay 2. I keep on seeing ads for it everywhere, trying to make it look as grand as they can, but it's come after the backlash. Like Sea of Thieves, I need a burp. It's not there. The Sea of Thieves marketing seemed to have come after the game released, and after everybody said it's fucking empty. Then all of a sudden I had this massive hit of ads hitting all of my social media. I saw it on TV, I saw billboards for it everywhere, and it just comes across as, how fucking dumb are you? Everyone knows, or everybody's sort of in the game sphere, I guess, and people who keep up to date knows that this game is awful. So why are you trying to push it when its reputation has already been knocked down a few pegs? And the same thing has happened with State of Decay. And I don't know what I'm wanting from Microsoft from E3 this year at all. I don't particularly want anything from them, I guess, overall, because obviously I've completely abandoned their hardware, but I just don't even know what they can do to sort of pull anything back. They've got nothing in. They've got Perfect Dark 2 apparently is rumored that they're going to be announcing that, which was a big Rare title. But again, even the reputation of Rare has been bombed so hard because of Sea of Thieves. They've just got nothing. They've got no ammo, in my point of view. Gears 5? That's just popped into my head now.
Is it too soon after Gears 4?
I don't know. I can't, honestly. Gears 4 is quite forgettable.
It wasn't a bad game. It was just, like you said, it was forgettable. It was I felt like a very safe game.
It felt safe. I remember being quite bored. If I think back to it, I remember starting it, and sort of if I run through in my head the entire game, I'm like, yeah, the beginning was quite strong. that little village got attacked or something, someone went missing, and then there's just this massive like chapter 2, 3, 4 of nothing happening until the end. I know I had fun playing it, but again, I think when me and you were quite well, I know I play games more for a narrative basis. It felt super dry. I had a fun time playing it. It was strong gameplay. It was strong, safe, like you say, Gears gameplay. But I was
there wasn't.
Was I disappointed? I don't know.
I know what you mean. There wasn't much narratively there. It was a lot of world building, because obviously it's like Halo. The jump from 3 to 4, you're doing a jump of Gears from 3 to 4. So it's a different world almost now. But what Gears did, which Halo should have done, was they've created a new group of heroes. I mean, yeah, they use Marcus in it to sort of help them, as it were, but he's not you're not playing as Marcus the whole time. You're not doing the same thing again. It's not Marcus going through the same shit different day.
Did you like the new characters?
I think I did while I was playing it. I thought they're not bad. Like, they could have been a lot worse. I'll give them that.
Yeah, I think I'm sort of in the same field.
But
I was listening to a podcast not too long ago, and Gears 5 came up. And I can't remember what podcast it was. It might have been the Game Ranks one or something. But they were saying how for Gears 5, they really want just to be like, okay, like we tried the new characters, but they didn't work out. Go back to Old Man Baird, Old Man Marcus, Old Cole, and do 5 and 6 from that, which I don't think they're going to do. But I do think they missed the mark with these new characters. I don't think many people got behind them as much. I quite liked, I can't remember his name. What is it, Jacob? Is that Marcus's son?
JD.
JD. I quite liked JD, but I don't know why. He reminds me of the Fortnite mascot as well. Every time I see him, I'm like, oh, it's that guy from Gears. Again, yeah, I think I agree with you. It's a very safe game. It hit the beats it needed to when you were playing it, but it wasn't very memorable. And I think they really need to drop something quite heavy with Gears 5. And actually, Gears 5 is probably, I'd put money on it being there.
I put money on it being a teaser, but we're actually going to see it properly next year.
That's interesting. I know, I'm not sure if I can't really say. I know a guy, let's say that. I think I've told you privately off recording. I know a guy, and from that it might seem that Gears 5 is a bit sooner than we would expect. And then again, that would only scream to me that Microsoft are scrambling and again just trying to force out whatever games they can, but they've left it way too late this generation.
But Microsoft they've not got anything. I don't know what they've been doing, but compared to Sony, they're always showing off E3. They're always showing off new titles.
So like embarrassing.
The zombie motorcycle game, which looks really good. Obviously, they've got Last of Us. They've got Uncharted. They had that 1880 Summit one, that steampunk one that was shit, but at least they tried something new.
I think the difference is between Sony and Microsoft this generation is, and I'm not even a big Sony fan. Like, a lot of their titles just don't appeal to me. I've not played PlayStation in absolutely. I think I dropped out around PS2. I'd never picked up a PS3 or a PS4, so I've not played any of their exclusives. But they've impressed me more every E3 because they announce games, and that's what they do. Even if they're not great games, even if the games don't appeal to me from the off,
even if they're Shenmue 3,
yeah, it's consistency, which is something Xbox hasn't fucking had in so long, and it's only now they're starting to realize, like, oh shit, maybe our games console needs some fucking games because apparently people don't like all this extra shit we're trying to sell them. It's like, no, we fucking don't. And again, I think Microsoft are losing so much traction and loyalty, really, because where they're trying their hardest, like every exclusive is now on Windows as well. I just think, why would you have an Xbox then? What's the point? But the only thing they have got going in the last few months that they've actually got over Sony is a mentality for crossplay. I think that's the only thing they can lean on, which Sony definitely won't, and just say, we want crossplay, and just keep on announcing, be like, oh, and you can play with your friends on PC, you can play with your friends on Switch. Do that for as many games as possible, because then that's one thing you can do differently that chances are Sony aren't going to do because they're scared of it. But that's the only thing that Microsoft could possibly do to get a leg up this E3. I think they're not gonna win overall. Obviously, every E3 there's the winners and losers, but there's no way they can win. But I think that will be good press coverage for them. And if they don't do that, I ultimately think we're going to be seeing videos and news articles just flooded, just being like, what is Microsoft doing? This entire generation, they've just been a disappointment.
But even then, with crossplay, if you have crossplay for your Xbox, it's just still like, well, why do I need an Xbox? Why don't I just get a PC then?
Yeah, I know. It's a weird one. If I was still, before I upgraded, I guess I would have defended that. It would have just gone back to the old argument to be like, oh, but I don't want a PC because I just want a turnkey solution to playing games. Like, I just want to come in, boot up a game and be able to go. I don't want to be having to... Because I think PCs are quite intimidating to some people. They were to me before I upgraded.
Yeah, but then you upgrade, then you realise, oh, it's actually really simple.
No, yeah, I know.
I was chatting shit, wasn't I?
Yeah, but there is a massive wall, I guess. I don't know where it comes from, but I think that's the only thing. I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm completely on your side. That's the only thing that I think Xbox fans would hold to. Just like, no, I just want crossplay. I don't want to play PC, even though it makes more sense to do that. But we get called fucking PC fanboys and master race shit for that argument. But you know what I mean.
No, I mean, like, people I work with, some of them are like, you know, they're casual gamers, they're not really into games, some barely even play games. One of them, I think he just has a PlayStation just so he can watch Netflix and stuff. And like occasionally he'll get a game on like the Black Friday sales or something. Like they're not going to want a PC. Oh, they're not going to pay how much you pay, like 700 quid for like a PC to sit and play games with. They just want something they can just throw in their living room, play some games or whatever, play FIFA, because that's what, you know, a massive audience is. Basically, the Xbox is for the average person in the United Kingdom, the Xbox is a FIFA machine, and so is the PlayStation pretty much. That's what consoles are, they're just FIFA machines.
That's a really good point.
That's what you have to remember, though, is there are people outside of us that sit here and follow game news and game journalism, and, you know, we not everybody who owns an Xbox is going to watch E3, not everybody cares. People just want the next FIFA, or Fortnite 2, or whatever.
It's almost like because I think for us, where we have an interest in games, and I know I follow game news, I follow game journalism and stuff. I know you're sort of involved. You're very picky where you choose, but I think generally consoles are for gaming sports fans. I guess that's sort of the only, and that's a market and a demographic that me and you, we never delve into. Like, we don't really play racing games, sports games. I never fucking touch because I'm just not interested. But I guess that is the only market that a console would have absolute loyalty to. Because why would you buy a fucking massive PC gaming machine just to play FIFA? Like you say, it's a FIFA machine. So yeah, I guess that is what they're for.
It's like we always see come Christmas or near when FIFA's released, because FIFA releases near Christmas, doesn't it? Like September or something. The Lad Bible page, which is arguably sort of Britain's communication hub on Facebook. It just talks about FIFA. The average person, the casual gamer, just FIFA, that's all they want. They want FIFA and then maybe Fortnite if they want to do something else because it's free. Like, I know another guy at work, he has an Xbox, he exclusively plays Fortnite. It's a free game, so like he doesn't give a shit about E3 or any of this crap we're talking about.
Interesting.
FIFA
if there's any Xbox fanboys who haven't already just bombarded our comments and dislike this and whatever,
I'm not getting comments. Watch this.
And generally want generally defend Xbox, I guess, in a nice, calm way. I know that's a stupid thing to ask for on the internet, but what as an Xbox fan are you excited for? Thank you for fucking interrupting me there. Shut the fuck up.
Sneezing, I'm sorry, but the waveforms look pretty funny.
Generally, what as an Xbox fan are you excited for, if anything? I don't know what an Xbox fan looks like anymore. I don't know what they're after. So I don't know. Leave anything below if you're interested. I want to move away from Microsoft because this is.
Like? But I'm just trying to think, what would an Xbox fan look like now that it's got no games for it?
That's what I mean. What does an Xbox fan look like? What? Who are you?
Anything...
It's not even saying that in like a facetious way to be like, who the fuck? Like, generally, I don't know what an Xbox fan.
It has no identity anymore, does it?
It doesn't, does it? There's nothing there. It's for us anyway.
The only reason that I'd keep my Xbox now is just for Halo, because even though I think they're shit now and they're awful, I'm still just going to get them playing just because that's what I always do. The same with Gears of War. like just playing them in hope that they're going to be good.
Since I've upgraded,
But that's the only reason I'm going to keep
spoken
it.
to you several times about me wanting to get. I've got rid of all of my games from my Xbox. I've just got the box. Granted, it's got like over 100 games downloaded on it and whatever, but it's been left unplugged. The only reason I'm keeping it so far is because Infinity War is going to come out on Blu-ray and I want to watch it. That's the only reason.
Blu-ray player.
That's the only reason why I'm keeping it, which is one absolute joke.
Blu-rays.
What a joke. But anyway, I want to move off from Microsoft. Any thoughts? If you want to fucking talk to us, probably not, but just put them below.
We could just get like external USB Blu-ray players for the PC.
I'm leaving that as like a cut point. I'm done with Microsoft. This is going to be a series of videos. That is a fucking long recording of Microsoft.